21 of the fantasy baseball season, and here's a few hitters on the rise this week. The first guy is Edmonds of the St. Louis Cardinals, so the super utility man here for St. Louis. He's been on a crazy tear of late. He qualifies at second, third, short, and outfield in fantasy baseball. In the season for Edmonds, 10 home runs, 46 RBIs, 75 runs scored, 21 stolen bases, a 266 average, and a 317 on base for the last couple weeks here for Edmonds. 3 home runs, 12 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, 13 runs scored, a 377 average, and a 433 on base. So right now, he's on fire. You can't get him out, and this is what the Cardinals want right here from Edmonds, and this is what he's definitely doing. He's getting on base, he's stealing bases, and he's getting the job done, and right now, he's one of the hottest hitters in fantasy baseball. Ranked number 2 in the last couple weeks is Edmonds right now, and this is what you want to see and what the Cardinals want to see. So the last few games for Edmonds: August 25th versus Detroit, 2 for 5. August 26th at the Pirates, 2 for 4, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. August 27th at Pittsburgh, 1 for 4, a home, and 3 RBIs. August 28th at Pittsburgh, 4 for 6, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. August 29th at Pittsburgh, 2 for 4, a homer, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. August 30th at Cincinnati, 0 for 3 with a run. And September 1st in a doubleheader at Cincinnati, 2 for 6, a homer, an RBI, and 2 runs scored. So right now, he's playing every day as Edmonds. He's getting the job done for fantasy owners. And it's not going to last this crazy hot streak, but he's definitely a player on the rise this week. The next player is his teammate, Paul Goldschmidt of the St. Louis Cardinals. So Goldschmidt, he's been pretty decent this year, even though there's been peaks and valleys with big weeks and then slump weeks for Goldschmidt. But on the season, 24 home runs, 82 RBIs, 10 stolen bases, 74 runs scored, a 287 average, and a 355 on base in the last couple weeks here for Goldschmidt. 6 homers, 13 RBIs, 9 runs scored, a stolen base, a 367 average, and a 436 on base. So when it's all said and done, pretty much each and every season, Goldschmidt, he finishes the season with that high batting average, 290s to 300, and he finishes with anywhere from 25 to 30 home runs. And right now, once again, he's on that tear, and he usually does have big Septembers, is Goldschmidt, and that's what he's doing right now for fantasy owners. So the last few games for him: August 25th versus Detroit, 2 for 4, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and a stolen base. August 26th at the Pirates, 1 for 4 with a rib. August 27th at the Pirates, 3 for 4. August 28th at the Pirates, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs. August 29th at Pittsburgh, 0 for 4. August 30th at Cincinnati, 1 for 3 with a homer, 2 RBIs. And in the doubleheader yesterday at Cincinnati, 2 for 4, 2 home runs, and 3 RBIs with 2 runs scored. So right here, he's on a home run tear, is Goldschmidt, with 5 home runs in the last week. And right now, he's definitely a hitter on fire, and he's definitely on the rise this week. The next hitter is Grandau of the Chicago White Sox. So Grandau, he was on the injured list for a few weeks with a bad injury, but now he's come back with a vengeance. On the season as a total, his numbers aren't all that great though. 18 homers, 49 RBIs, 48 runs scored, an awful 217 average, and a 408 on base. But obviously, Grandau over the years, he's going to have a low batting average, but high power numbers. But the last couple weeks here, he's white hot, and he's a guy you can't get out right now. 4 home runs, 11 RBIs, 6 runs scored, an awesome 529 batting average, and a 636 on base. So he's come off that injured list, refreshed and ready to go in the first 5 games since he returned August 27th versus the Cubs. 4 for 6, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. An insane game there. August 28th versus the Cubs, 0 for 2. August 29th versus the Cubs, 2 for 4, a homer, 2 RBIs. August 31st versus the Pirates, 1 for 2, a homer and an RBI. And September 1st versus the Pirates, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. So right now, Grandau, he's gone out there and he's knocking the cover off the ball in his return. And obviously, he's taking advantage of poor pitching teams as well, like the Cubs and Pirates. But hey, he's going out there, he's getting the job done, and he's a player still available in 17% of fantasy leagues, which obviously isn't much. But if he's out there right now, you go pick him up because he's been the hottest hitter in baseball this week. The next hitter on the rise is Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Indians. So Ramirez, it's been an up and down season for him. But just like another guy like Goldschmidt, when the season's all said and done, he's going to put up numbers and be a first or second rounder in fantasy baseball. On the season, still 31 home runs, 84 RBIs, 19 stolen bases, 87 runs scored, a 258 average, and a 346 on base. So even with Francisco Lindor out of town this season, he's still putting up the numbers, and he's still putting up that first round value as well as Ramirez. So the last couple weeks for him, 4 homers, 9 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, 10 runs scored, a 293 average, and a 420 on base. So right here, he's putting up insane numbers this season, and he's got an outside chance here with a month left in the season to put up 40 home runs is Ramirez. So the last few games for him, August 25th versus Texas, 0 for 4. August 26th versus Texas, 2 for 3, 3 runs, an RBI, and 3 stolen bases. August 27th versus Boston, 3 for 4, a homer, 2 RBIs, and a run. August 28th versus Boston, 0 for 4 with a run. August 29th versus Boston, 2 for 3, a homer, 2 RBIs, and a run. August 31st to Kansas City, 0 for 5. And September 1st to Kansas City, 0 for 3. So Ramirez, he's once again finishing the year off great, hitting the ball well. Just the only bad thing with him, the 258 average. But the last couple weeks, he's hitting in the 290s. And right now, what a season he had once again, and was a great first-round pick for fantasy owners. And he's definitely a hitter on the rise this week, and the 5th and final hitter on the rise this week. Nick Castellanos of the Cincinnati Reds. So Castellanos, he's having a great season this year. And obviously, he went on the injured list for a little while. But now he's come back, and he's smoking hot, is Castellanos. On the season, 26 homers, 78 RBIs, 79 runs scored, a 319 average, and a 376 on base in the last couple weeks here for Castellanos. 5 home runs, 14 RBIs, 11 runs scored, a 367 average, and a 404 on base. So right now he's going out there and he's playing big baseball. And yesterday was the big breakout game for him ever since returning from the injured list a few weeks ago. So the last few games here for Castellanos, August 26th at the Brewers, 1 for 4 with a homer. August 27th at Miami, 1 for 4. August 28th at Miami, 2 for 4. August 29th at Miami, 0 for 4. August 30th versus St. Louis, 0 for 3. And in the doubleheader yesterday versus St. Louis, 4 for 7, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 4 runs scored. And he even had his bat checked for pine tar or whatever. So right here, Castellanos, he came off the injured list, and he's tearing things up right now for fantasy owners and the Reds, who've been patient and waited for his return after starting off the season on a tear as well. And he's definitely playing well. So that's a few hitters on the rise here in Week 21 of the fantasy baseball season.